Hello, I'm early by 2 minutes. And I didn't do anything about being on, so be it. But, whoops, let me put chat on just in case. Chat, 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 chat. Never misses a comment. Show on stream. Yeah, right? Click that. Yeah, okay, alrighty. Let's see. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Teresa. I'm always surprised when people come to my streams. It's always such a pleasant surprise. Hi, Christina. Wow, thanks for being here. Yeah, scrap and stitchery. Yes, stitchery. Well, I've been attempting to do some stitchery. And then I kind of ran into a brick wall. I'm not going to do it during the stream, but I'll show you what I've gotten done and what's it's kind of been my inspiration. And then I was trying to draw. Oh, there's that New York accent, draw, every once in a while. Oh, so this is the inspiration. And I've already taken out one. And I felt like I was Barbara Clark. I stitched down this directly onto this. And then I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be able to move it around. So I ripped it completely out and then stitched it. I've done some paper. I guess they call it, hi, Jennifer, paper. Oh, thank you, Sandy. You call this paper. Anyway, I stitched it on a piece of paper. That way I can move it around. And this was actually on another piece of fabric. And this is on paper. And I guess you can tear the paper away. And this was on paper, and I tore the paper away. Anyway, I'll show you what the inspiration is. This is a neat little book that I got several years ago. I guess I can sit down. Ooh, ooh. Folk Art Fusion. And I guess it comes in a big regular size book, but I got it this size. I don't know when I bought it. I'm assuming I got it on Amazon. I've done several things out of here. This is Frida. If you're not familiar with Frida, that's Frida, the And yeah, so you can see I've done Frida because you can see where I've got paint marks. And then it gives you like the palette and pens and markers, step by step, a Buddha, a Buddha, a Buddha. I've done this tree of life um, in another book that I Rosemary Morris, everything but the Kit and Caboodle kit, which I never finished. It was on Hawaka. Hi, Barb. How are you? I ripped this completely out off this, and I thought of you every rip stitch. And this is my inspiration. I did this, I painted that for my daughter-in-law. And this is the inspiration, this here. Now, this doesn't look anything like that, except it's got trees in a barn. Hi, Alan. And again, step by step, slowly but surely. And so I've got 3 trees, I've got a barn and a silo. And that's as far as I've gotten. And then I kind of got stuck My trees are made out of scraps that I had. I know, I know, I know. Is that Becky? Hi, Becky. I'm going to see if this is coming up on my iPad so I can see it. Takes a while for it to, show up on the iPad because I'm having trouble reading, obviously. Cataract surgery is on for June 2nd. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Yeah. We hope that it's not canceled. I had the pre-op, which oh, Becky, I just opened Instagram. Do tell, where did you get all those keys from? Did you have those in your possession? Holy mackerel. What a wonderful collection of keys. Wow. Hmm. Lovely, lovely keys. Let me see if I can't find myself. All right, search. Ancilla. Let's see. 861, folks. Getting there. Oh, and it shows I'm live. How lovely. I am alive. Oops, let me get rid of this. Whoops, lovely. Okay. Anyway, so this is the inspiration. You didn't buy them, you've had them? Yeah. I only have a couple. I tell you what, the house that I bought in New York, oh, they were in an antique store. You didn't buy. Now that's a mystery now. They were in an antique store and you didn't buy them. Hi, Lydia. Hi, Belinda. I have the key to my room in Mallorca, which is one of those big old-fashioned keys. And then the key to the house that I bought was this adorable little brass key that opened the front door. It was an old-fashioned door, right? The house was built in 1923. And the woman that I bought the house from, she was a shady, I mean, and when it came time to, when I bought the house and go through all the, the final walkthrough and the paperwork, and I bought the house, signed, sealed, and delivered, and I asked her for the key. She said, "Oh, I misplaced it." She didn't misplace it. She wanted to keep that key because it was an adorable brass key. There was another lock on the door. Oh, you just thought that Janet Nash would. Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's a beautiful display. She had that key. She just didn't want to give it up. Yeah. Yeah. She was the town clerk. Oh, I was going to ask. I know you went to see her earlier. Um, well, that's good, right? I guess if she thinks you're your mother, she doesn't yell at her mother. I don't know. Overall, how did she look? Pretty good. I mean, I'm sure they're taking real good care of her. That's the first time you've seen her since she's gone to this new facility, right? It's a beautiful display of keys. Absolutely gorgeous. So, anyway, this is the inspiration. These are my trees. Um, I had some fabric that had cherries. Oh, two little boys in your lap, too. That's interesting. Wow. She's on her way. And these cherries were so I cut them out. And then you can't see them but I actually did. There's three French knots there. And then I'm gonna, I don't know, probably put some buttons, um, maybe little buttons or little beads or anything. Anyway, so this is, and I need these. these 12 by 12 pieces of fabric are not quite wide enough. So, and since there's black here, I thought maybe a thin strip of black here and here to extend this out. And then, so they go like so and like so. And here's the barn. See, Barbara, I initially sewed this barn directly onto this fabric, which is a canvas bag that my sneakers came in that I took apart. She said her parents were fighting. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. That's good. Good. Okay, that's really good. Wow. Well, she's safe, right? Oh, she thinks she's in a motel. You want to see that? I did. I did 3 French knots right there. That's not the French knot, but there, right there. And I did 3 of them without any mistakes at all. I watched a video. I've watched many videos on French knots, and it worked. I'm going to do more French knots. They're really not that hard once you get the hang of it. Yeah, but I did them. I did them. I usually 50-50. Usually I don't hit the hole the right way and I pull it all the way through. But this time I positioned the needle correctly. And that's um pearl cotton thread, not floss. But I initially had stitched this down here. I don't know, you can see all the holes. And didn't like that. So I pulled it up. And so I thought I'd put a thin strip of black here. This is all the black I have, but I have enough to stick a strip here and a strip here. And then this would go here. Here's the silo. Did that on paper. I need something like that. I'm not sure. And then these are going to go up here. Actually, they're going to go up further up here. I think this is something like this. Anyway, and that's where I left off because I kind of got stuck as to where to go with it and what to do down here. You can see it's got all of these. Oh, thank you, Barbara. Thank you. You ladies know of my struggle with French knots, but they came out pretty good. So, and then down here is this kind of stuff. And I was thinking of, just random pieces of fabric to go down here. Then I was thinking, I have some batik, fake batik, but pieces batik that could go down here. And then I have fabric pins, but I don't know whether I want that or should I put black down here. I have one piece of black. I bought some cheap fabric, 50 pieces of solid, fat cats. No, not fat cats. Flat cakes, you know what I mean. Anyway, and then there's this, which I cut in half. And then I tried drawing on it with the fabric pen, which, I could kind of do that and maybe stitch those here or draw on here with the fabric pen. Right? Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I mean, you think I could use the fabric pen? That's a fabric pen. And I could do little white dots like this. I had done a yellow sun, but I realized it was a moon, but I could use the yellow anyway. So that's where I'm at. And I have Safia's foamy stamp that looks just like this, right? So I'm thinking I could stamp the foam stamp on a piece of fabric that could go across there. So there's a lot of different, decisions that I'm gonna have to figure out. But yeah, that's what I've kind of been working on. And I did this. And there's the finished. That's the big picture of it. And Summit You. And then they've got all sorts of cityscapes, which would be fun to do. Um, I did this. I painted that, and it was on my phone forever. Fat quarters. Yes, thank you. That's the word. Fat quarters. I always get that. Einstein, which is kind of an odd, but I did this one. Inspiration. I did this one. Maybe some of you remember, but I did this one on a 12 by 12 canvas, box canvas. And that's hanging in the living room. And that was a mixture of paint and fabric and all sorts of different stuff. No, I'm not planning to wash it. No, if anything, I'd probably frame it. Yeah. No, I'm not planning on washing. I never thought. I guess Posca, that's right. Posca, all those Sharpie ones too. Yeah, I don't have those, but I've got all sorts of markers and everything. So I guess I wouldn't necessarily have to use those fabric pens. Huh. I didn't think of that. I could probably use a Posca pen, right? That's what you're saying? I didn't realize. The name of the book is, and I've had it for years, it's called Folk Art Fusions by Heather Gowler. And I remember Colleen from CK, Colleen, she had the same book, but it was in a nine by 12. It wasn't, and and that Walter Foster, they do a lot of art books. So what happened to my focus? Hmm? It just went out of focus. Why? It just went out. Huh. And then it was published in 2017. Okay, it's not that. 2018. All right. And I'm sure I got it on Amazon, would be my guess. Any acrylic pen. Oh, okay. Oh, they will stay on top of the fabric because this soaks through, but really, not that much, just a little bit. Huh. Yeah. No, that's true, Di. Yeah, because they might feather. Ooh, that's much better. Definitely would use a Posca pen because that's much more vibrant. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a combination of sewing. Um, I could do like patchwork, pieces of fabric, you know, this is gonna be gone. I don't know what I'm gonna put down here, but it's not gonna be this. That's just part of this. It might be this. I've got one piece of black fabric from that set of the 12 by 12. And the bottom of the thing is black. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what I've been messing around with. And then this was a black shirt, a black work shirt, a Dickie work shirt that I cut up. And look, there's the tag that came out of it. It's kind of cool. I thought I'm gonna. I know the little pictures. There's a lot in that little book. Um, and I like it. They give you a step by step or a blow by blow. And obviously, I've got to put the barn door here. I did a satin stitch here for the windows, and I'm going to do the barn door here with stitch that in. And I bought some books on sashiko. I pronounced it right. Anyway, that's the stitchery segment. Fold this up. And again, I got a pair of sneakers that came in these canvas bag. On the front, it has the name of the sneaker. They're called Hike. Yeah, okay. That's what I think. I don't know where they don't have the little book. Try thrift books. Maybe thrift books will have this used and in the smaller version. Yeah, the smaller version is kind of nice, isn't it? It's the same stuff. Maybe thrift books will have the little book. All right. Oh, there's some leaves that I had cut out. Probably not going to use those. Oh, what a mess. Took me 15 minutes to clean up all the fabric stuff. Didn't want to work on that during the stream because what I want to work on is that little book that I made. Uh, this little book. I worked on it, and then I got all those goodies from Safia. Well, I would check thrift books or Abbey books, those used bookstores. Everyone was buying the quackery books. Di's quackery book is currently residing at Pam's, but it'll be on its way to Denise. Okay. So you've seen I started working on this a while ago. I put it together and all the substrate. Oh, your book came in too? Yeah, I didn't realize I enabled so many people to buy that book, but boy, they're probably wondering why there was such a surge in this, people buying that book. A whole bunch of people bought copies of that book. It's funny. I mean, it's true. It's true stuff. But it's fascinating what human beings allowed one human being to do to another human being. Oh, you're so welcome, Di. Oh, believe me, my pleasure. My pleasure, my pleasure. You've shared so much of yourself to all of us. It was my pleasure. Um, so this is stamps. These are foamy stamps, and the substrate in this little book is all junk mail. All junk mail, and that I've covered with jelly prints and other painty papers. And now I just want to put little stuff in it. It's fun to, this little thing, this tiny book. I was inspired by Patricia of P&M Studios on doing little stuff. So let's find some little stuff. And of course, Daffy has sent us little stuff. So I've got a bag full of little stuff. So let's see what we can stick in there. Lots of little stuff. Oh, and I've got the foamy stamps. Let me get those. I got all the little foamy stamps. Well, I guess I can't buy any more foamy stamps because my little tote is full. That is my complete foamy collection of all my foamy stamps. And there's Safia's. I love that. Scallops. And then let's get these out. These are the little ones I just bought to do little borders with. Let's see these. Hey. Bird. There's a little one here. Let's see. What's that? Little flowers. Stairs. These are from Devon. This bird I stamped on fabric and then shower time for flowers. Ooh, that's pretty. That would be fun to stamp and then stitch. I got some kitties. All right, let me look. I'm going to use the little ones, the wee ones. I like these. You know why? Because they don't weigh anything. Oops, sorry. Oh, okay. All righty, now we're all set. Now we can start gluing and chatting, and we can have a wee chat. Or okay. See, I did these. That's this set. There's 3 of these go together. And I think these were designed by Carrie the Crafter, I think. All right. Let's see what else we got here. We got all sorts of little stuff. So let's find some little stuff. Handmade mixed media tape. Ooh, okay. And now there's that foamy stamp right there. There it is. Okay. Well, we might as well stick that in here. Let's. How about? No, I don't like that there. How about there? I like that. Let's stick that there. Let's just stick it right there. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think the name of this stamp is Scallop. I think that's what she named it. So I think that it's going to look good there. So we'll stick it right there. Well, I'm glad you got to see Mill. And even though she was a little confused, she's safe. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. And our garbage men get a day off. Seems like they very rarely get a day off. but there'll be no garbage pickup tomorrow, which is fine. I'm in a bridge tournament tomorrow. And my bridge partner and I, did not come in last place Saturday. We came in sixth place out of seven. So those of you who've been following, the bridge saga, we typically hang out in last place. We feel that that's our place. We own last place, but occasionally we surprise ourselves. I know I do too. We surprise ourselves and actually don't come in last place, and Saturday, oh my God, we played so poorly Saturday. That's why I was doubly shocked that we didn't come in last place. But someone actually did worse than we did. We were kind of really, really surprised by that. But we did not come in last place. Second to last. Aren't these pretty? You can see. Safia makes such pretty stuff. Got all these goody. And I like this. Um, this is I need to have this close by. Let's see if we'll focus. Create something today, even if it sucks. Yes. Yes. Even if yes. I know, we were pretty excited. I was pretty excited when I saw that we didn't come in last place. See, we're perfect partners because neither one of us really care where we come in. We really honestly don't give a damn. I mean, we enjoy playing, and so we go and we play and we do the best we can. And if we don't normally criticize one another. If we make a mistake, we don't say, oh, you should have done this. Why did you do that? That was not we don't do that to one another. Some people do that. Some partners do that to one another. We don't. But we came in strong at the end. We had a couple of bids that we actually made. So tomorrow we're playing bridge at 8:45 in the morning, which is a little early, but let's see. How about let's do something. How about something roundish like that? This is kind of thick. Maybe I can peel this. Bye, Belinda. Thanks for being here. I know. Definitely. Definitely. That's a good idea. I'll stick it on. I have some thoughts. I can't stop making journals. And I just watched a new person that I found on internet, on YouTube. And she was doing, maybe I won't separate this. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Let's see. I won't because I don't want to ruin it. She was doing Japanese binding. And that's what I saw. I saw the, YouTube, and it's Japanese binding. And she also does Sashiko. And I have not tried Japanese binding yet. It's pretty. You found a new gal also? Alan Arts. Okay. This woman's festival. Oh man, I can't. I'd have to go back and. But I'd like to try Japanese. Some photo albums. Okay, all right. Well, I got I got the package in the mail, and so this will probably be the substrate for the next journal. And it just sounds so good, the old. I'll probably I'd probably cut it down like so. Maybe make two journals, right? I'm probably going to cover it in fabric. It'll sound so good. And I know Val, that's a paperback. Hi, Anne Marie. Hey, Anne Marie. I have to tell you, I mentioned it yesterday, how much I enjoyed watching that scammer dude. Oh my God, that was unbelievable. I didn't realize that there was anything like that out there. Amarit posted in Discord through Ginger Cat, said that she was bored and and she put the link to this guy, and this guy goes after scammers, bad guys that try to scam people. Oh my gosh, he's got a lot of sophisticated equipment, and this guy was in Bangladesh, I do believe. And when the good guy talks, it disguises his voice. No, it's not Scam Better. Oh, it is Scam Better. Oh, that's the guy's name, Scam Baiter. Okay. And so when he's talking as the victim, the computer changes his voice so it sounds like it's a woman that's talking. And oh my goodness, he had those guys going yesterday. He had them opening. I guess they have several computers, and he was trying to get all of their computers open so he could get in there. And he did. He got in there and he deleted their files. Oh my God. And they were so stupid. The one guy he was talking to. Yeah. And because he says, the good guy says, tells him, how much money, the woman, the good guy was telling the scammer how much money he had, and that someone had come and I guess they were blackmailing. I missed the beginning of it, but someone came and they'd given him money in a box, and because they didn't. But anyway, this guy said, "Oh no, don't! Can you get the money back?" And then he wants. Oh yeah, okay, that's what he. No, he is the scammer payback. That's what I thought. And then she said, "Well, someone was just here and I gave them a box with $15,000 in it. And I'm supposed to give them $50,000 on Tuesday because the banks are closed on Monday." And he's this guy, in Bangladesh. Oh, no, that's the wrong guy. That's the bad guy. I'm here to protect you. Don't give any more money out. And where do you live? Because she implying that she's got cash, and he's wanting her address. He said, I'll send the good guy over, and you can put the cash in a box, and I'll send the good guy over to pick it up. Oh my gosh. And then she says, I've had enough of this. I'm just so overwhelmed with this. I'm going to move to Bangladesh. And that's where this guy is. They know exactly where this guy is. She says, I'm moving to Bangladesh and I'm going to help out children in the orphanage in Bangladesh. And you would think that he would realize that something's up because he's in Bangladesh and now she's moving to Bangladesh. Didn't, and apparently she had him convinced that she was a designer and that she had a hand in designing the Guggenheim Museum and Rockefeller Center. And see, they call the various kind of hackers scam baiters. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I just thoroughly enjoyed that. And that he got, I think he got him, but this guy had a whole bunch of files. This guy, the bad guy, had a lot of files. He'd done a lot of stuff with well, what's it called? CAD. No, no, it's not AutoCAD. Is it AutoCAD? It's a design, it's an older architectural design software. I mean, it's been around for a long time. And this good guy got into his computer, could see what was in his files. And he had a whole bunch of stuff, designs that he had done. Uh, and then apparently he got in there and he deleted all of his files. And you should see Kibuga. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, just do that through Discord. Yeah, it was fascinating. And then he has like a guy that helps him, but it was unbelievable. Um, it was great to see that. And I guess people are. I mean, he pretended to be obviously a helpless AutoCAD. That's what I said. Yeah, it was AutoCAD. All right, thank you. I thought that was the name of it. Yeah, that's been around a long time. They had that when my oldest son was in high school. I like this. I'm gonna stick that right there. But it was very, very rewarding to see that he got this guy. I think that did they finally figure out what was going on and they hung up or something? Hi, Angie. Then he was she was telling him how old she was, and that he was telling her that he was a brown man and that he was well built, wasn't he? He was well built and that he lifted weights or something. Oh my God, it was really, she kept them online. I mean, she was really good keeping them online. Like as the good guy, kept the bad guys online long enough so they could actually get into their computer because they were in her computer. You know how sometimes when they get in your computer, you allow them to get into your computer. Um, I've done that twice. I've had issues with my computer. And boy, that is the creep. If you've ever done that, then you know what I'm talking about. That's the creepiest feeling when you're sitting there looking at your computer and your mouse is moving. And it's not you moving your mouse. It's somebody that you've given access to get into your computer to figure out what's going wrong. Um, I did that once, and it was really scary. I mean, it was legitimate, but still, the fact that someone is in there moving your mouse around and it's not you. And it was somebody from India. And I had some issue with that computer and they wanted to get in there and see whether they could fix it or not. How many of you have ever done that? Had somebody inside your computer for repair purposes? It is kind of weird to have somebody moving your mouse around and let's see, we'll do it this way. So how you doing, Angie? It's good to see you. Let's see. I've seen many live where they say, yeah, apparently, yeah, the good guys. Yeah. Well, you get a little nervous. I mean, I was at the AT&T store for a total of 5.5 hours over a 2-day period as they were trying to figure out getting, the phone mess. Oh my God. What, the phone's working, the watch is working. It looks like everything's working. But they were on my phone. Okay, Alan, thanks for being here. Hi, Carol. How are you today? All right. I'm gluing in Sathia goodies, but this stuff just goes perfectly in this journal, doesn't it? It's perfect. Mm, I like that. Actually, let's see. Should I make that like a pocket? I want to cover this. These are the cards from P&M Studios, and I make tags out of them because it's really nice material. And I could just do this and I could slip in there like so. Let's see, that might be a thought. Um, I have some envelopes here. There's the avocado. I think we need a stamp. Don't you? I think we need a stamp right there. I do think we need a stamp. And I got my stamp right here. Michelle? Okay. It is unnerving. Yeah, it is. Very unnerving. It's downright creepy. I think we're going to stick this right here. Oh, I'm glad you're outside and it's not snowing. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? Yes, it is. I like her. I colored the olive. Of course I did. I'm back to drinking Tito's again. I went off. I tried a vodka that I used to drink many years ago. You're contemplating a nap. Oh, okay. Well, you're going to be on with Pam later on, right? Oh, or not? I can't remember. Are you taming the chaos? Oh, a piece of fabric. But I'm back to Tito's, and it is mo better, more money, but ha ha. I read past my bedtime. Art by Safi. Oh, that's a cute little sticker. Hmm. Some more of the scallop stuff. I think that may go there. I think that might have to go there. Hmm. Or I agree, Sandy. Yep. I tried another Texas vodka called Tower, and that was pretty close. I was at what was it? It was a wine store, wine and liquor. It's a franchise chain. And I tasted them side by side. This is a while ago. And they were very close. And then I went and bought some Svedka, which is kind of like Absolute. Thank you, Christina. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. Let's see. I think, let's see. I like this. I have scrap paper like that. Okay. You're still watching? That's okay. You're working on a journal with sayings from heaven. Oh, saying with sayings from heaven with dragonflies. Oh, that sounds cool. Hi, Safia. I'm playing with all my Safia goodies. Thank you so much. I'm sticking them in my journal. Look at these. Oh, I was there when she was watching when she was making these. Aren't those gorgeous? Yes, it is. So I'm going to make this into a dress. Hmm. Well, you can see through that. But I got washing apple content. Oh, watermelon margaritas and Blanco. I know, I know. You're right. I know exactly what you're saying. That's a good description. That's affordable and not burny. Because man, oh man, tequila, holy mackerel. Can that be expensive? I was buying the no, I can't think of the name of it now. It was higher end tequila. Because I'll drink it just the way you have you shown you no, I haven't. I don't even know where did I do it? I know where they are, but I have not. Oh, Washington apple cocktails. Strawberry mead. Really? Huh. That's really interesting. My son is a brews beer, and he has made mead in the past, and I had some of his mead, and I was surprised that it's not sweet at all, even though it's made out of honey. I've never heard of strawberry mead. That sounds very interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Take this apart. Oh yeah, well, yeah, that would make sense. But I'm sorry to say, I'll drink, tequila like I drink vodka on the rock. I drink vodka on the rock. I'll drink tequila that way, but it's gotta be, and I can't think of the brand it is. But it's expensive. Because when I was in college and we would do shots of tequila, it was rock gut. Oh, talk about hungover the next day. Oh my God. You didn't want to look at a line again. Oh, we are way okay. I've had hard cider, but not made just hard cider. It was a guy we worked with on the farm in Gettysburg. He was a German. If I told you Ferdinand stories, I can't remember. His name was Ferdinand, but I swear to God, his name was Ferdinand. And oh yeah. Well, the next time you mail in something this way, Yeah, I actually have scrapbook paper that's got this. I just like taking stuff apart. It's like, but his name was Ferdinand. I kid you not. And I think I've told you, I think I told you last week, maybe the origins of Ferdinand. Ferdinand was a German soldier. He was drafted into Hitler's army and he was captured by the Americans and he was sent to a POW camp outside Emmitsburg, Maryland, which is apple country. Lots of apple orchards in Emmitsburg. And as a POW, well, not so much anymore. I know. Maybe back in the day. Um, uh, and they were given an opportunity instead of just sitting around in the POW camp. They were asking for anybody volunteering with that would be interested in working in a local apple orchard or an orchard. And Ferdinand volunteered. So he went to work for a doctor who had an apple orchard, and he was working in the apple orchard. We learned all about apples and such and working in apple orchards. And then when the war was over, he didn't want to go back to Germany. He was no fool. He wanted to stay in the United States. And he had been such a hard, good worker that the people, the guy, the doctor that owned the orchard, found him a job with his daughter. His daughter had married somebody who was in the apple orchard business up outside of Gettysburg. And it was called Boyer's Nurseries and Orchards, which I worked for. That's how I came to know Ferdinand. And so when the war was over, Ferdinand went up to Boyer's Orchards. They hired him. And the Red Cross found his wife and brought her to the United States. So he and his wife were reunited in the United States, and he went to work for Boyers. And that's where I met Ferdinand. And he talked with a very, very thick German accent. And he was a hard worker. And he also made hard cider. I know that was a long way around that story, but that's the first time I ever had hard cider was Ferdinand's hard cider. I remember him bringing a gallon jug of it out to the out where we were working. Oh man, holy mackerel! What a kick in the patootie that was. I have no idea what the proof was on that, but it was some strong stuff. But Ferdinand would climb up into these apple trees with his sneakers on. He called sneakers. I've got my sneakers on, my sneakers on. I will climb up in this tree. And he was not a young man at this point in time. He was clambering up into these apple trees, trimming them. Like that there. Like it there. But he was one heck of a guy. And, and he had a house. I mean, they gave him a house to live in because that's what they did with the top tier of laborers. You got a house to live in rent free. And we ended up having a house. my ex had worked for Boyers one summer. My ex went to Gettysburg College, and so he stayed in Gettysburg one summer and worked as a migrant laborer at Boyers. And when we got married, and I said, if you want to have children, when I'm not living on Staten Island, I'm not going to live in this Staten Island. So we started looking for work elsewhere. So he went down to Boyers just to look for some temporary work, right? Because at this point, he had all sorts of degrees. And he walked into the orchard, the nursery. They had a big, gigantic barn where they sold fruit and all sorts of stuff. And he walked into the, the nursery, and they recognized him immediately. And they hadn't seen him in 15 years, whatever. And he said, yeah, I'm married now, and my wife and I would like to move. Do you have any work? And they said, yes, you can, and they hired him, and they gave us a house to live in, rent free. And it was a beautiful brick house that had been built during the Civil War. And it had the handmade floors with the handmade nails, and it was plaster, horsehair lath plaster. And they even redid that. They redid the whole bathroom for us. And they knew that my ex was not going to make a career being a. Wow, I was thinking about you. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. How are you? Was worried about you because I was showing somebody it's kind of a paper bag, and I know you said you would like a paper bag, a naked paper bag journal, and I was wondering, I was thinking of maybe making you one. Um, I I've been saving paper bags, naked ones. Yeah, yeah, I guess. But I subsequently went to work for them, and and my ex did what he did best. He went back to school. He was a perpetual student. He went back to school. Um, but we lived in that farmhouse, and I worked for them until I was 6 months pregnant with my first kid. And my ex had gone back to school and gotten a master's degree in counseling, because he had an undergraduate degree from Gettysburg College. He also had a law degree. He was a lawyer. You're an old paper. You're not. You're terrible at making them. Well, I've never made one, but I'm willing to try to make one for you. If you're game, I'm game. And I do have some paper bags. I actually have two little AT&T paper bags because I got paper bags from them with the little handles. Um, when I got my phone. So I saved those, and I have some other bags that I have saved. I think I saved them. Um, you're even old, yeah. Angie, you're so funny. Paper bag. No, you're not. Angie's a youngin'. She's a youngin'. I think, I'm not sure I want to do that with this. Whoops. I was looking for, so I worked for Boyers. I get until I was, and it was, ooh, it could be a flippy thing. What do you think about making it a flip out? I like that. Let's do a flippy. Let's collage on this and then make it a flip out thingy. And of course, I didn't get paid. Didn't get paid much. Um, what did we get paid? You? I'm reading how old we're arguing about who's the oldest old bag here. I'm pretty old, but I'm young at heart. I know who the senior is in this group, and I'm not going to reveal that because that's not my place. But we made, are you ready for that? I mean, now we're going back a long ways. This is many, 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 many years ago. Like 35. Oh my God, 35 years ago, 34 years ago, 1972, 73. So, and we got the house rent free. I do believe we paid the utilities. I can't remember, but the house was, and it was a uh, 3 bedroom, 1 bath farmhouse. Uh, it had it was called the cattle farm because that's what they did as they as they built this orchards and nurseries, they bought up surrounding farms. And when we left, it was about a 2,000 acre, orchard and nursery. But they kept the name of the farm. So we lived on the cattle farm, and it had an acre pond and a big barn that there was nothing in the barn, but there was a barn on the property, a pond that was about an acre in size, and then the farmhouse. And I got paid $1.55 an hour. Janice, yeah, 50 years, and we have six. Yeah. Oh, Angie, you're 60? Oh, wow. Well, that's young. So I got $1.55 an hour. We worked. Are you ready for this? I think I've told you many times before, but I don't know how many you remember. We worked the standard work week was we worked 55 hours a week. 10 hours, 10 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and 5 hours on Saturday. That was the standard work week on this farm. It's 55 hours a week. Uh, we got we went home for lunch for an hour, so actually we worked 9 hours. No, you don't sound old on the phone at all. No, you don't sound. Did I? I don't sound old. I don't think I sound old. Maybe I do. And we had Christmas Day off, right? Thanksgiving Day off, and New Year's Day off, and the first day of deer season. Those were they were the official days off, and that was it. And they had, well, 2,000 acres. Uh, they grew trees. They grew apple trees, pear trees, all sorts of trees that were sold to other nurseries. And they also had fruit trees that they sold in this gigantic fruit stand. And people would make a day of it. People would drive up from Washington, D.C. and come in and buy, their apples and their peaches and their pears, all that stuff that was handpicked, and that they made regular cider from their apples. And people would come up on a, Saturday and Sunday. That place was just a zoo. It was hopping. And we worked year round. They had a big storage. I did that wrong. I should have done that there. Let's see if well, maybe I can just kind of, let's see, I don't know. Um, and when there was, obviously, when all the apples had been picked and such, maybe, can I do this? Oh, not too bad. They stored them in the CA controlled atmosphere, huge, where they literally the oxygen out of the storage. It's huge, like it was like a airplane hangar sized facility, and they would suck the air out. No, this is a Safia. She's right here, right below you in chat. This is a Safia foamy from P&M Studios, but this is Safia's design. Uh, she carved it, and here it is. I also have strips of it that she sent. There it is. But this is her foamy. And you know where Krabby Joe's desk and no, I don't. What was Safia's? Oh, it was deleted. So when there was snow on the ground, we would go and it's a great stamp. And when it became a stamp, I bought it. And so after all the fruit had been, picked and put in the storage, then in the fall and winter, we would be out trimming the apple trees. And then we would, they would sell their apples. And they had a big facility. They would take them out of the CA storage and they'd bring them into this other big area. And my job was to stand up on this platform and grade the apples as they came through, and then they were bagged and shipped off to supermarkets all up and down the East Coast. I remember the first day that I was working on this line, so to speak. When I closed my eyes at night and I went to bed, all I could see were apples. because I just got done looking at apples for 10 hours. That's all I could see were apples. So, and if we weren't doing that, then we were Highland. We were trimming apple trees. And I think I've told you this story. I know I have. And I became the official painter. They handed me gallons of paint and they sent me off to paint the migrant camps. Hey, Jay. Place was so big they had two migrant camps, one for Black workers and one for Hispanic workers. So I painted the migrant camps. That meant painting all the individual kind of rooms, and then the communal dining area and kitchen area. So that took a while. So I took my boom box with me and painted until I was done. I painted the inside of the fruit, stand too. That was fun because in order to get up to the top of the ceiling, I mean, it was a cavernous, like huge barn, and I had to use the forklift. And we had a pallet on the forklift, and then they would just raise the forklift up with me on it in the paint, so I could paint this, the top of the roof of the fruit place, the fruit stand, so to speak. So I've had a lot of interesting jobs, a lot of physical labor jobs. And then the last job that I had was teaching, which was by far the easiest physically, not mentally, though, physically. What? You never would have thought, oh, come on. She's just like, just like, oh, it looks great. I love it. I love it's such a wonderful stamp. Look how beautifully it stamps. Now, I don't even know how the foamy process works. I have no idea. Uh, you're serious? That surprises me. Now, I'm assuming you carved this like the yellow. Thanks, Ian. Um, you carved this out with the regular rubber carving, and then it goes to them, and then they uh they make the foamy. Do they make the foamy there? Speedy carve. That's what you use for all your okay, all right. Look at that. Isn't that good? That's how I know that's how I'm cleaning these. I know that's not, but that's how I'm cleaning them. I'm just stamping them because I'm probably never going to use anything but black ink. So I just stamp them until that kind of looks cool anyway. But I got passwords on here. They make the phone scene. They to order. Huh. Thank you guys. So they actually make them there. Wow. Well, the only other people that I know of, I mean, I know the only other people I've ever bought phone stamps from is Joggles. I said hi, Lynn, didn't I? I hope I said hi. Um, but I'm sure they're good. I've only ever bought foamies from Joggles and then P&M Studios. And the whole process, I got a piece kind of like this black stuff. It was packaging for something. Oh, of course, art foamies. Yeah, obviously, yeah. And it was kind of this material. And I tried carving it to make my own. Let me see if I can't find it. And it was almost, you couldn't carve it. You couldn't carve it like you would carve regular stuff. But I'll show you it. I can find it. Should be right here, right handy. Oh, here it is. See, this came, and it was, and I can't remember what it was, but I said, "Oh, that's like a foamy thing. Let's see if I can't carve that out and make a stamp." So I tried to carve it out, but you can't really carve it. I was kind of trying to make a flower, and it was like foamy, like the foamy stamp. And I guess, I don't know whether it's the same. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's probably right. It's probably melted and then they make some sort of a mold, right? I guess. So let's see what we got here. Out of curiosity. Let's stick it right. Let's stick it right here. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, lasered. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Sure. Like, yeah, it would be late. Yeah, yeah, I would imagine that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Laser cut. And it's probably programmed in like a cricket or something like that. Bunny, I got a little bunny right out my door here with a little white cottontail. Oh, so cute. Be careful. Be careful, bunny. The eagles will come and get you. They're kind of big though. All right, you ready? All right, here we go. Whoops. Oh, no, it's a stamp. It's a little rough. Like that little, yeah. But that makes sense that they would use a laser. Yes. Okay. I'm getting a little messy here, but it's okay. All right, I want to make a thing out of this. It looks like a flower. I mean, that's my carving there, and there's a little stem, but yeah. All right. Let's find some. I want to make this. And I don't want to use this because you can see through it. So I've got other stuff over here that I can use. Like, well, we can use some of this stuff. This came from P&M Studios. They always throw in little scrappies when you order from them. And I've got some of your scrappies. So let's just kind of make a tag here. Got some of your stuff here. Yeah. Let's see. That's yours. I was going to use it as a pocket here. Let's see. Can you see what? Yeah, you can. All right. Let's just do this. All right. Let's glue that down. That's got some texture to it. Mhm. It got overcast today and I got all excited. And I heard some thunder. I thought we were going to get some rain, but hi, Riley. Wow, good to see you. Riley and I are down under in the land of Oz, where it is Monday morning, I'm assuming. It's 14 hours later. Yes, Foil is oh, see that. Oh man, does she make unbelievable stuff too? What a personality she is, isn't she? Oh my gosh, she's bigger than life. I love her stuff. It's so bold and colorful. Fascinating person. I really, I wish well, I struggle with the jelly plate, but I don't do it enough. You know, you get better if you try it. Giant spiders, yes. Big insects. No, we've got pretty big insects here, and we got huge cockroaches. Because here they don't call them, the Floridians don't call them cockroaches. They call them palmetto bugs. I'm sorry. It's a cockroach. You can call it any fancy thing you want. But as far as I'm concerned, it's an ugly, horrible, creepy, disgusting cockroach. Let's see. And very good with the time. No, yeah. I don't know how many. Is that a Florida? Yeah, I guess it's a Florida. Everywhere else, they've always called them cockroaches. I didn't know what they were. I had never heard of a cockroach being referred to as a palmetto bug. It's a cockroach. And of course, there's all sorts of different varieties. There's the American cockroach, and there's the German cockroach, and I'm sure there's more varieties. But we have big ones. Now, I've got cockroach traps under the sink, the suspect places under the sinks and in dark places. So, and they spray here. There's a bug guy that comes and sprays for every once in a while. See, they're really sneaky. You find one that's on its back and you think it's dead, but it's not. Its little legs are moving, little antennae are twitching. There was one in the living room the other day, the other morning. And it was a little one. It was only about this big, about that big. Normally they're the size of your thumb. This was a little guy, and it was on its back. So it's nice, Afia. Thanks for stopping in. But it was still alive. But apparently, when they're in the death throes, oh, okay. Yeah, the Posca pin, that would be a great idea to decorate that. Yeah, it's a great idea. Okay, wait, can't put the phone down yet. Love the flower carving. Thank you for that. I will. Also, what journal? This is a journal that I made this is all junk mail. This is all junk mail. And I've just went through it and covered it with some jelly plate prints that I had and painty papers. But behind underneath all of this is literally junk mail. It's all junk mail. And see, there's an envelope from the junk mail. So that's all it is. No. Well, you know what, Mike? I've had cats, and they were not interested in the cockroaches at all. Lily wasn't. She'd go crazy about the lizards. We have a lot of lizards here, but the cockroaches are too big that the lizards could not eat them. Okay, Brenda. That's why. Those are the real big ones. And I didn't think they flew, but apparently they do fly. Because I remember one day I was coming into the house through the garage and this gigantic bug went buzzing by me. I mean, literally like a B-52 bomber. And I thought to myself, well, at least it's not a cockroach because cockroaches can't fly. Well, duh, of course they can fly. They have wings. But my method of killing cockroaches, because they squish, they have a hard shell and they squish. So I stand above them and I drop a book on them from about 3 feet up. Boom, smack. And I leave that alone for a while. I may even leave it there for a day until all of the pussy innards kind of dry up a little bit. Oh, you call them wood roaches. Okay. Ooh, oh, ants. Okay. Okay. Well, I didn't really want, Lily didn't really pay them much mind. She might have batted them around a little bit, but boy, lizards, oh my gosh, I called it Lily's lizard watch because boy, when a lizard got in the house and she chased it under a piece of furniture, she would sit there, I swear to God, for days waiting for that lizard to come out. One time she caught a lizard and I picked her up with the lizard. She had the lizard in her mouth, and I picked her up, lizard and all, carried her outside, and kind of shook her until she dropped the lizard. I don't know whether the lizard survived or not, but because when she did get them and eat them, then she would throw them up. Yeah, I know they have wings. I don't know how stupid I was. No. Oh my gosh. We have stick insects here. I'm sorry, you don't likes hunting. Yeah. Yeah, we had at school one about that big, not 15 inches. I'm like, but they look like sticks. I remember there was one on the side of the building at school, and we had a science teacher who came and got it. But we got these little tiny lizards. I mean, and some of them you see them and they're missing their tails. Um, we got snakes, of course. I mean, it's Florida. We got snakes and lizards and alligators. They just had a thing in they do something called Friday Tidbits every Friday. They kind of get a newsletter from the administration, and they were warning us to be very leery of the to be careful, beware of beware of the alligators. They've been very active recently, and there's an alligator nuisance hotline manned by the Florida Wildlife. So if you have an alligator that's being a nuisance, I don't know when they would not be a nuisance, to call them and they would take care of the alligator. But people post pictures of alligators all the time. They'll say, "Oh, look, here's a picture of the alligators on the 16th hole." I'm on a golf course. I only saw one alligator in this pond that I'm on. And it was a big one. And it came up and then when I went to get my phone that was on my nightstand, it slithered back into the pond. But I haven't never, and that was many years ago, and I haven't seen an alligator since then in this pond. But people, they should be careful. Uh, there's people that come. There's one guy that comes every week, and he's fishing. He's fishing out golf balls that are in the pond, and he's got a big, like a long stick thing that's got like a little cup that's used to scoop up golf balls. Um, and I would be really careful doing that around many of the ponds because those alligators are fast. And we've got bobcats here too. Now, let's see, right down. One of my past cats. Oh wow! Oh my gosh! I bet. Oh, we have turtles too. Lots of turtles. We have a really ugly turtle. It's, it's called a soft-shelled turtle. Look it up. Oh my God, if you want to see something ugly, it's not like the little tortoise, the hare and the rabbit, and the tortoise and the hare, the rabbit. I mean, it's not a Tommy turtle like Disney turtle. This soft-shelled turtle is one ugly turtle. Oh, it's got like a soft skirt around the rear, around the back of its shell, and it's got a big, long neck. And I had one that came up and dug a nest in my garden and laid her eggs. And then, lucky her, the crows weren't around because usually the crows will sit there and wait and eat those eggs as soon as they are laid. But the crows weren't around that day, and she laid them and covered them up. And 7 weeks later, they must have hatched because there was just a bunch of broken. I know, aren't they? Uh-huh. I fell for it. I fell for it. Crocodile, see you, wild alligator, see you. Ha ha ha. There was a soft shell turtle attempting to lay eggs right outside the window of where we play bridge. And she was digging. You could see the dirt flying. She had dirt and sand all over her back. She was just, and there was a crow, just one crow that was right there, less, maybe 2 feet from where the turtle was digging to lay her eggs. And and she went after the crow, shoot him away, and then she walked off. So I don't know where she laid her eggs. But I saw the crows eat a whole bunch of eggs. My neighbor next door. I watched a turtle, dig a nest. Took her forever. Laid her eggs, and then there were a bunch of crows up in the palm trees. I chased them away once, but I figured I can't chase them away forever. They had those. They'd eaten all those eggs before she even got to the pond. Really? They're big enough. This one, the one that laid those eggs, they're huge. Now, the turtle that came out of the pond yesterday looked like, and you know what it looked like? It looked like one of those turtles that you would buy in a pet store, the ones they don't sell anymore because they have salmonella. and it was a bigger one. It was about, maybe about that big around. And it came out of the pond and it was walking towards, you know, by the house, between the houses. And I'm sitting here crafting along, and then I look up and there's a man that's picked up the turtle and he's walking to the pond with the turtle. And he put the turtle back down, but not that close to the pond. And I'm assuming the turtle lost its way and went back to the pond. But it was the cute turtle, the Tommy, the Disney version of a turtle, not the ugly. She was drawing soft shell turtles earlier. Why? Why? Why would someone draw a soft shell turtle? When I was working, speaking, I have another turtle story while we're at it. When I was working at Boyer's, uh, oh, oh, that's great. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. I don't know what a red-eared slider is. I'm not sure what that is. I don't know what a turtley. Ah, ha, ha, ha. 11 inches. Do you remember those turtles that they would sell? They came in a little round plastic thing, and they usually had a plastic palm tree and a little ramp that they could go up. I got mine at the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus once. When the circus would come to town, we'd go into New York City and see it and see the circus at Madison Square Garden. Oh wow, you have turtle and salamander crossing signs. That's cool. We have sandhill crane crossings. I don't know whether the sandhill cranes can snapping turtles. Now they're aggressive. That was my second turtle story, or my third. When I was working on the farm, we were out in the orchards thinning peach because the peaches grow in clusters, Jenny. And we would, the migrants and myself, because I was working with the migrants, we'd have to go and hand thin the peaches. And the peaches at that stage, that peach fuzz is like so itchy. It's like getting, like insulation, the pink insulation. And you have to go in by hand and thin them out because they grow in clusters. And if you don't thin them out, then you don't get bigger peaches. So we would have to go and by hand thin the clusters of peaches out. So we were doing that one day, and there was a creek that went through the orchard. The orchard was at a higher elevation. I just walked over, just to see, look at the creek. And I felt this tapping, and I was wearing steel tip boots. Good thing. And I felt this tapping, and I looked down, and it was a snapping turtle tapping on my boot. Oh, wow. Oh, really? Oh, okay. That's what they're called. Oh, okay. And oh my gosh, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, that's what we bought 9 years ago. She was smaller than a quarter. That's amazing. Yeah. Now, what do I guess it's turtle food, right? They're like pellets that you feed them. That is amazing. Yeah, that's about the size of them. You're about a quarter when they would. I didn't even know well, it's 9 years ago. I don't think they sell them anymore. I could be wrong. Right? That's getting there. It's none of the colors match. And guess what? I don't really care. Well, yeah, the big tortoises, they live for well over 100 years, don't they? The real big ones, the tortoises. Now, a tortoise is different than a turtle, right? They named her Swimmy. Oh, that's cute. Oh, Swimmy. That is funny. Oh, freeze-dried bugs. Okay. All righty. That's cool. Pretty cool. And apparently she's alive and well and doing well under your care. I guess they're easy to take care of, huh? So let's see. That's what we got here. We got alligators and lizards and turtles, soft-shell turtles and regular box turtles, I guess. Bobcats. I've never seen a bobcat, but one of the bridge people that I play bridge with have bobcats. And of course, we have eagles. And of course, my favorite, my sandhill cranes. And we have Egyptian geese, but they're not from Egypt because that would be a long flight. They're called Egyptian geese because around their eyes they have blue coloring that very much resembles the blue coloring that the Egyptians would paint around their eyes. These Egyptian geese are not indigenous to this area and they are considered a nuisance bird or fowl. And there was a pair of them that had 12 goslings, 12 babies. So they are reproducing. Every once in a while, an eagle will get them. I like that. I don't want to cover this up, so I'm going to leave that like that. And let's see if something for to cover the back of this. I'm going to have to go into another area of stash, 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 stash. I am a sticky mess. Okay, these are just adorable. I've got some more of this. Let me just get in our boxes that we made out of boxes. This is my Cheez-It box. So I took a Cheez-It box and made it into a box with a magnetic closure. Foul birds. You have black bears. Oh yes, well there are bears here. Um, corn snakes. Oh my God. They named the corn snake Corny. Oh, oh really? Yeah. We have a lot of sandhill cranes. Um, and recently, not so much the last 2 days, maybe they settled their differences, but in recent weeks, there's been a lot of cacophony, them carrying on. It's been like a turf war. Uh, and there's a single sandhill crane, which is very sad because they mate for life. So usually when you see a single one, that means that they've lost their mate. But the pairs of them would go after the single sandhill crane, and they would squawk and carry on. But they seem to have moved on or settled their differences. Look at this. And, this is the one that I tried to empty. All right, tortoises are strictly okay. Okay, that's right. And then you have the sea turtles. And those are the ones that they lay their eggs in the beaches here. And then they ask people not to turn on their lights as the little turtles go to the ocean. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I wonder how it, huh, that's the real estate. That must have been, okay. This is, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Val, look what I have. Paper bag. Oh, I shouldn't have taken this paper bag apart. Oh, well. I'm going to save this. I'm going to make you a paper bag journal, and it's going to have all different types of different paper bags. And here's one for you. Oh, look, Val. Paper bag, right? Oh, I've got an idea now. I've got all different types of paper bags for you. This is a paper bag of sorts. Paper bag. I got paper bags. I'm going to make a little journal for you. A brown bear. Yeah, they've got black bears here. Um, and they're not real big. Okay, there's a piece of scrap. Scrap, scrap. Here's some piano roll paper. I had, piano roll, and I took it apart. Oh my God, try to flatten that out. Well, we'll figure that out when the time comes, Val, okay? I got to make it first, and then we'll figure out how we're going to get it to you, all righty? But thank you. Okay. Oh, and I cut all of this stuff out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's move this. And this was from Kathy Whitney. Scrappy flowers make me happy. Here's a little happy for you too. Thank you, Kathy Whitney. I can put that. And this was, I love this drawing from Aunt Bex, 25. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Okay. Lots of, again, little stuff, buttons. All right, where's I lost the thing. We, the people, have had enough. God damn, you're right. We've had enough. There it is. Okay. This could go here. Let's see. Wow. And I have all of these. And I've been collecting these for years, and I have all of these, and I very rarely ever use them. Yeah, that's a long way around. Let's see. Well, she could go up. And Val, are you on the western end? Are you in? Yes. I've been collecting these for years, and I don't know. Allentown, PA. Funny story, true story. My ex, we moved to Pennsylvania, and it took him a while. He finally got a job. He went back to school, got a master's degree in counseling. He had an undergraduate degree from Gettysburg College. He had a law degree from Brooklyn Law School because his grandfather was a lawyer, his father was a lawyer, and he was expected to be a lawyer. So he went to law school, passed the bar, and then basically decided he was going to do what he wanted to do. He became a school teacher. So he eventually but he was hired and worked at Harrisburg Hospital. But before he got the job at Harrisburg Hospital, when we lived on the farm outside of Gettysburg. We lived in a town called Biglerville. And in Biglerville, there was an inland, it was called the Biglerville Inland Container Company. And guess what they made? They made cardboard boxes. Yes, they did. And he worked the graveyard shift. They made boxes 24, around the clock. And he worked the graveyard shift making cardboard boxes. And damned if I didn't finally come across one of these from a Biglerville inland container company where he worked making boxes. Oh, Lake Ontario. Oh, okay. All right. Oh my God, yes. Lake Ontario. Okay, Lake Ontario. That's, see, here's New York State. Lake Ontario is here. My son went to the University of Rochester and he was on the sailing team and they sailed in Lake Ontario. That's where they sailed. That's where they competed. So I have a Biglerville inland container. Shakopee, Aurora, Illinois, Brookfield. This is the one that Miss Allie Kay, I should send this to her. Sheboygan. She asked me where I got it. Sheboygan, Wisconsin. But I've been, and some people, Carol, you collect the little stickers, the shipping stickers. Right. Oh, here are some more of Safia's little thingies. You can't see. I got so much stickers here. Can you see what I'm doing? No. Yeah. All right. See what we got. What we got here. Happy life. Happy. Oh, I love these ladies. These are so funny. I love these ladies. I love her. Look at them. Aren't they gorgeous? Big, beautiful. Mhm. I love her. I use them very sparingly. I don't even know where I got them. South, okay, Lake Erie is southwest of you. Okay, south. All right, yeah. Because when we lived in New York, we lived in southwestern New York, and we were 30 miles from Lake Erie. You can see the U.S. on a clear day. It reminds me of was it Sarah Palin said, "I can see." Let's not go there. All right, that's a rooftop. All right, Let's glue this on, and then I can say goodbye. As I turn into a pumpkin at 7 o'clock. Let's glue this on. Thanks, Carol. You take care. So, taming the chaos with Pam and Michelle, I think, is on 9 o'clock Eastern, my time. Let's just stick this on here because I'm going to have to cut off. I don't know why I put glue all around. Oops. Look, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Look at this mess. I've got All right. I know. I know it can go here. Handmade, you can't see what I'm doing. Handmade mixed media tape. I can go right across the bottom there. To cover Kathy's name up, and she won't mind. Ooh, this is nice and sticky. Ooh, sticky, sticky, sticky. Well, it's perfect. So, just see if we can't. We can save that little piece. Yes, we can. All right. It's perfect. Let me cut that down. I am so sticky. Oh my God. Look at me. I am a sticky mess. Well, thank you, folks, for being here. It's always a pleasure. I'm so thrilled with you hanging out. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. And again, if you can't be good, be careful and hopeful. I'm wishing you all a wonderful week. Let's have it be uneventful. And if you're traveling, let's have uneventful travels. My son's apparently going to California tomorrow, which I found out about today. He's done teaching for the year, so he's taking a little side trip to California. That's what he does. All right, so there's that. And that's Safia and P&M Studios and Kathy Whitney. There. All righty. Bye, everyone. Bye, Ruth. Good to see your pink hand. Be good, be careful, and thank you for being here. Bye.